in our plural world, lots of ancient texts from old spiritual traditions are readily available in English, and people turn to them seeking guidance and often get quite confused. And I think it's because they come from a time when human consciousness was significantly different from what it is now, and it's worth bearing in mind. So, for example, in the ancient world, the notion of fate was very dominant. It was a benign fate, a kind of providence, but the spiritual task broadly was to align yourself with that fate in order to, say, go with the flow. But I think things have shifted now. We have more of a sense of our own inner life, and that can be separate and different from the fate or the providence around and about. So the question is, what does that freedom give us? And actually, I think it's really well captured in the Islamic notion that our task now is more about knowing, about perception, about consciousness, than it is about alignment. So, for example, in the Sufi tradition, the great thing about being human is that you can know more about God's creation, more about the different aspects of the divine than, say, the angels. For example, human beings can know about mercy as well as about gloriousness. And so I think when you read these ancient texts with the sense that we now are called to perhaps to perceive, whereas in the ancient world people were called perhaps to trust providence, that starts to help read them for sure, but read them with this awareness that things are different.